Yesterday, I taught Sunday school at the little country church that I go to. Our pastor recently retired and is on a month-long vacation, and his wife teaches our Sunday school class. The Lord moved me to step up and volunteer to fill in for her, which left me feeling a little like, okay, nobody else wanted to volunteer, and God was like, do it. So I stood up and volunteered, and now I'm teaching Sunday school, something I've never done before. But the lesson yesterday just seemed to be timed perfectly. The lesson was about answering God's call to live a holy life. It was a very interesting lesson. We talked about quite a bit, and then we opened up to conversation. And the pastor said something about not being possible to live a life without sin. And I looked at him and I said, are you sure? It's not possible. He's like, we all have sin, even in our thoughts. Da, 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 da. And everything in my spirit was like, that's the wrong message to give. Because we can strive for it. We can make the choice. You see, when we come to Christ, we come in sin because we're born with sin. And we come with any sins that we had not acknowledged when we come into it. But as we get deeper in with Christ, we recognize our sins. And sometimes it takes a while. But we're going to get You get the desire to stop, to change things, to start resisting those temptations that leave you feeling like you're failing Jesus. At least that's how I felt. God found me an addiction. And when I first started going to a church, after quite a bit of running away from God's call, some of the people were like, oh, you accepted Christ, you're good, you're okay, come as you are. But I couldn't stay as I was. I eventually did put down the drugs and stopped running around with the men, living the party lifestyle. And one by one, I started turning away from my personal sins. The last one I turned away from was the hardest one to turn from, because I don't like life alone. It's God's here with me. This time around it's not quite so quiet, but I wanted to be happy and loved and in a relationship, taken care of. I mean, these are all wonderful things that come with a good relationship, but the relationship I was in was he was married to another woman legally. Hadn't lived with her in 15 years, but he never got his divorce, and that was a sin. It took me 5 years to realize that I could not continue with that, so I turned away. And I left. I'm disabled. Can't hold down a regular job. I have multiple sclerosis. A lot of the normal jobs that people work are just too much on my body. I don't have a lot, but God is with me, and I've turned from my sins. And I strive every day to just make it one more day without saying yes to a temptation. Not that I don't get temptations, they come. But whereas before I would just respond to those temptations from my personal desire, now I look at them and I think, and I choose not to. I don't think it's beyond anyone to make these choices and to live this way, to walk with Christ in the way that He truly wants us to walk, in peace and in love, and without bathing in our sins. I don't think it's impossible to live a life without sin. I'm not saying I'll never trip up again, but I'm praying that I won't. Because when Christ comes, I want to be walking and sure of my step, not crawling, because I've just fallen again. I hope the message touches you, and you have a blessed and beautiful day.